Introduction. Welcome to this life-changing audiobook summary of one of the most influential success books ever written, Think and Grow Rich by Napoleon Hill. This is not just a summary. This is your blueprint to wealth, confidence, purpose, and success. Napoleon Hill spent over 20 years studying the world's wealthiest and most successful people, including Henry Ford, Thomas Edison, and Andrew Carnegie. What he discovered wasn't just about money. It was about the power of thoughts, the strength of desire, the discipline of persistence, and the magic of belief. Whether you are an entrepreneur, student, dreamer, or simply someone hungry to unlock your fullest potential, this audiobook is for you. So let's dive into the mindset that has created millionaires and changed lives for nearly a century. Get comfortable, open your heart, and allow each word to move you one step closer to greatness. This is Think and Grow Rich, reinvented, reimagined, ready for you. Chapter 1. Thoughts are things. Imagine for a moment that your thoughts could shape your destiny, that the ideas dancing in your mind, no matter how fleeting, could hold the power to build empires, amass fortunes, and transform your entire reality. It sounds unbelievable, right? But that is exactly what Napoleon Hill teaches us in the very first chapter of Think and Grow Rich. This book doesn't start with a motivational quote. It starts with a philosophy, a belief that everything begins in the mind. And Hill is not just being poetic. He's being practical, because every great invention, every millionaire business, every revolution started with one spark, a thought. The origin of wealth, one burning idea. Hill introduces us to a man named Edwin C. Barnes. Barnes had one burning idea and desire to become a business partner with the great inventor that is Thomas Edison. Now, Barnes wasn't rich. He wasn't connected. He didn't even look the part. But he had two things. First, a clear vision, and second, a relentless belief. He didn't say, I want to work with Edison or work for Edison. He said, I want to be a business partner with Edison. That's a bold statement, especially when you have nothing to show. But Barnes didn't wait for the perfect opportunity. He didn't wait until he had enough experience or money. He jumped on a freight train and showed up at Edison's office. Edison later replied, there was something in the expression of his face which conveyed the impression that he was determined to get what he had come after. That's the power of thought backed by faith and action. From dream to reality. Now, here's what's fascinating. Barnes didn't get the partnership right away. He got a minor job, but he did it with excellence and with focus, knowing that one day he'd get the opportunity. And one day that opportunity came. Edison had developed a new dictating machine, but one of his salesmen believed in it. Barnes did. He believed in it too much that he offered to sell it, and he did it so well that Edison made him a partner in marketing. Listen, the thought combined with desire and faith became reality. This is Hill's entire point in this first chapter. Thoughts are things, not just light, fluffy dreams. They are real forces, capable of shaping your future. The fuel, definite purpose plus desire. A wish is weak, a hope is soft, but a definite desire, that's the beginning of riches. Hill says that you must turn your thoughts into clear intentions, and those intentions must burn with obsession. Barnes didn't just want success, he decided to succeed, and he was willing to sacrifice everything to do it. This is the birth of what Hill calls a definite chief aim. A clear goal that you want more than anything else. Once your mind is focused like a laser beam, the world beings with shift in your favor. Auto-suggestion, programming the subconscious. Here's where Hill dives deeper. He teaches us that thoughts don't work on the surface level. To create real results, your thoughts must sink into the subconscious mind. But how? Through auto-suggestion, repeating affirmations, visualizing success, imagining your goals already achieved. Every day, speak your goal out loud. Every day, feel the emotion of already achieving it. Every day, plant that thought into the deepest part of your being. Because the mind doesn't just respond to logic, it responds to emotion. You must feel your dream as if it's already yours. Money is a result, not the goal. Another key point Hill makes is this. You don't get rich by chasing money, you get rich by chasing value and mastering your mind. Money is simply the result of who you become. Barnes became bold, faithful, and decisive, and those inner changes led to outer wealth. Action, the bridge from thought to riches. You can't just sit and think. Thoughts are powerful, but only when combined with action. Hill makes this clear. Riches don't come from daydreaming. They come from putting your thoughts into motion, from using initiative, courage, and persistence. Even a poor man can become rich if he learns to think accurately, decide quickly, and act relentlessly. The invisible forces. Hill believed there is a spiritual element to success. When your thoughts align with belief, purpose, and emotion, you activate what he calls infinite intelligence, a higher power that seems to arrange circumstances, people, and ideas in your favor. You'll notice that successful people often say, things just lined up. That's no accident. That's the subconscious mind connecting with the universe to bring your combined thoughts into reality. What you can do right now. Let's make this real. That's what Hill would tell you to do today. First, write down a clear goal. Be specific that I will earn 1 crore by December 31st, 2025 through my online English speaking academy. Second, create a plan. Even if it's small, take action today. Third, repeat your goal aloud. Every morning and night, feel it. Fourth, visualize success. See yourself already living that life. Fifth, surround yourself with belief. Stay away from doubters. Sixth, take action. One step daily is enough to move mountains. Thoughts become wealth. Final reflections. If you can grasp this single idea that thoughts are things, and those things become real when fueled by belief, desire, and action, then you've already unlocked the door to success. Remember, Barnes didn't succeed because of luck. He succeeded because of mental clarity and relentless determination, and you can too. Chapter 2: Desire, the starting point of all achievement. Desire. The word alone stirs something deep inside you. It's not just a want, not just a hope, not a passing thought. Desire is the starting point of all success. It's the spark that lights every fire of fortune, achievements, and greatness. In this chapter, Napoleon Hill teaches us that a burning desire is what separates the successful from the average. It's not luck, it's not intelligence, it's the intensity of your desire, the power of a definite desire. Hill doesn't talk about vague wishes. He talks about a definite desire, a precise goal that takes hold of your mind and never lets go. He tells the story of a young man whose son was born without ears. The doctor said the boy would never hear. But the father, refusing to accept this, planted a burning desire in his heart. My son will hear. He will speak. He will live a normal life. He didn't know how, but he believed it. And he held that thought for years. Eventually, with the help of hearing devices and his father's relentless faith, the boy began to hear. He learned to speak. He led a normal life and even helped others with hearing challenges. Listen, even the impossible can become possible with desire so strong that it refuses to give up. 6 steps to turn desire into riches. This is one of the most famous parts of the entire book. Hill gives us a 6-step formula to turn desire into actual wealth. Step first, fix in your mind the exact amount of money you desire. Don't say a lot of money. Say 1 crore or $1 million or 50 lakh rupees per month. Be specific. Step 2. Determine what you will give in return. Nothing comes for free. What value will you provide? What product, skill, or service? Step 3. Set a definite date. When will you achieve your goal? Set a clear deadline. It creates urgency. Step 4. Create a clear plan and begin at once. Don't wait for everything to be perfect. Take action even if the plan isn't complete. Step 5. Write out a clear, concise statement. Put all the effort into one paragraph. This is your personal mission. Step 6. Read it aloud twice a day. Once in the morning, once at night. As you read, believe yourself already in possession of the money. Example statement. Let's say your goal is to build a 1 crore online English coaching business. That's how your statement might look. I will earn rupees 1 lakh crore by December 31st, 2025. In return, I will provide premium online English speaking courses to over 10,000 learners. I will build my brand so and so into a household name through YouTube, Instagram, and live classes. I'm starting this journey today. I believe in myself and I know I will succeed. Now read this out loud every morning and night. Visualize the money in your hands. Feel the excitement of achievement. This is auto-suggestion in action. How much do you want it? Desire is not passive. You cannot whisper to the universe, I hope to be rich someday, and expect miracles. You must shout your desire through your actions. Hill says, the starting point of all achievement is desire. Keep this consistently in mind. Weak desires bring weak results. Just a small amount of fire makes a small amount of heat. So the question is, how big is your fire? The story of Marshall Field, another powerful story Hill shares, is about Marshall Field, a businessman who created one of the most famous department stores in history. He began as a poor country boy, but he had a fierce desire to be wealthy. While others were making excuses, Field made moves. He worked, earned, saved, risked, and never stopped believing in his dream. Eventually, when opportunity knocked, he answered boldly. His store became a symbol of quality and success, and he died a millionaire many times over. Listen, your background doesn't matter. Your current situation doesn't matter. Only the intensity of your desire matters. Warning: the enemy called hope. Hill makes it clear hope is not enough. Hope says, I wish I had money. Desire says, I will have money and I'll do whatever it takes. Hope is passive. Desire is aggressive. It moves. It acts. It believes. And that's why desire creates riches and hope creates regrets. Desire plus faith plus action is equal to riches. The magic formula begins to take shape here. Desire, faith plus action plus persistence means riches. It all begins with that first word, desire. It must be burning, consuming, and alive. You can't fake it. You can't borrow it. You have to build it through obsession, clarity, and emotional connection to your goals. Translate desire into beliefs. Every successful person you admire had one thing in common: an unstoppable desire to succeed. Oprah, Elon Musk, Steve Jobs, Dhirubhai Ambani. They were obsessed. They couldn't stop thinking about their dreams. They sacrificed sleep, comfort, security because they believed so deeply in what they wanted. That's the kind of desire that changes lives. Build your desire daily. Here's how you can start building that burning desire right now. Visualize your goal for 5 minutes every morning. See it clearly. Write down your 6-step mission on paper and read it loud. Review your progress every week. Celebrate small wins. They feed your hunger. Avoid dream killers. Stay away from people who laugh at big goals. Rewind. Let's review. Thoughts are powerful, but without desire, thoughts are nowhere. Turn your desire into a written goal. Mix it with faith and daily action. And never, ever give up, no matter how long it takes. It ends the chapter by saying, every failure brings with it the seed of an equivalent success. That means even if you fail, the desire you build along the way prepares you for something greater. Chapter 3: Faith, Visualization, and Belief in Attainment of Desire. Most people think it's just belief in a higher power. But in Think and Grow Rich, Napoleon Hill redefines faith as something far more practical, far more personal, and far more powerful. Faith, in Hill's word, is a state of mind. It's a tool, a spiritual magnet, a force that turns invisible thoughts into visible results. Faith is the glue that binds your desire to reality. Without it, your goals are just dreams. But with it, your definite desire becomes destiny. Faith is not just belief, it's emotion. Faith is not your repeating affirmations like a robot. It's about saying your affirmations with emotion. When you say, I will earn 1 crore by December 2025, you must feel it. You must visualize it. You must see it, touch it, live it in your imagination. Because the subconscious mind doesn't respond to plain words. It responds to emotionally charged belief. Auto-suggestion plus emotion means faith. Hill builds on the idea from chapter 2. Auto-suggestion, the technique of repeating your desire aloud twice daily. But in this chapter, it takes it deeper. He tells us faith is the only known antidote for failure. Faith is how you program your subconscious to believe in success even before success shows up. You can trick your subconscious into confidence. Let's say you are nervous about launching your business. You feel fear, doubt, insecurity. Start telling yourself, I'm confident. I am strong. I'm capable. Success flows to me. Say it with conviction. Say it with passion. Eventually, your mind starts to believe it. And once it believes, your external world begins to change. The confidence formula, self-suggestion. Napoleon Hill gives us a brilliant self-confidence formula. Let's break it down. Say these affirmations aloud, morning and night. First, I know that I have the ability to achieve the object of my definite purpose in life. Therefore, I demand of myself persistent, continuous action towards its attainment, and I promise to render such action. 2. I realize that the dominating thoughts of my mind will eventually reproduce themselves in outward physical action. So I will concentrate daily on thinking about my goal. Step 3. I know through the principles of auto-suggestion that any desire I hold in my mind will eventually seek expression through consistent action. I will feed my mind with positivity and purpose. Step 4. I have clearly written down a description of my definite chief aim, and I will never stop trying until I developed sufficient self-confidence for its attainment. And 5. I will eliminate hatred, envy, jealousy, selflessness, cynicism by developing love for all humanity, because I know a negative attitude can never bring me success. Repeat this daily and you will begin to rewire your beliefs. Faith is not magic. It is mental conditioning. It is emotional discipline, and once you build faith, success becomes inevitable. Faith in action, in motion. Faith is not passive. It doesn't mean sitting in a chair, waiting for miracles. Faith means acting as if you already have what you desire. Hill says, faith is the starting point of all accumulation of riches. Think about that. Every fortune starts with belief. Every career starts with confidence. Every relationship starts with trust. Faith is the first tool you need in your toolbox. Faith destroys fear. Here's the real reason faith matters. Because fear is your greatest enemy. Fear paralyzes. Fear whispers, you're not good enough. But faith roars, you've got this. The human mind cannot hold faith and fear at the same time. If you fill your mind with faith, fear is pushed out. If you let fear in, it chokes faith like a weed. Hill teaches faith is a state of mind that may be induced by auto-suggestion. You choose it, you build it, you protect it. The subconscious mind obeys faith. Your subconscious mind doesn't question you. It simply accepts whatever you consistently tell it, especially when combined with strong emotion. If you tell it, you always feel, nothing works for me. I'm not lucky. I will make that your reality. But if you say, I am powerful, I am successful, I am growing every day, then that becomes your truth. Warning: the danger of negative faith. Be careful, faith works in both directions. If you believe bad things will happen, they will. If you believe people are against you, you'll find proof. If you expect failure, your mind will create it. Hill reminds us that the subconscious mind is always listening. Whether you are planting seeds of success or seeds of failure, you are always planting something, so choose your thoughts wisely. Infinite intelligence and spiritual power. Faith also connects us to what Hill calls infinite intelligence, a universal power that responds to our strongest desires. When you combine faith with prayer, gratitude, and service, you create a spiritual alignment that moves mountains. You've heard stories of people achieving impossible goals, surviving disease, coming back from rock bottom. That's not luck, that's the power of faith in motion. Build your faith muscle. Faith is like a muscle. You can't develop it in one day, but with daily repetition and commitment, it becomes strong. Here's how to build your faith muscle. First, repeat your goals aloud with passion. Second, visualize your success clearly every day. Third, celebrate small wins. Prove that your faith works. Fourth, surround yourself with positive people. Fifth, read stories of others who succeeded against the odds. Sixth, remove negativity from your life. People, media, and self-talk. Faith turns thoughts into riches. So let's tie this all together. Your thoughts, chapter 1, desire, chapter 2. Now you need faith to bridge the gap between thought and action. With faith, your mind becomes focused. Your fear turns into power. Your desire becomes inevitable. Faith is what allows a poor man to dream of millions. Faith is what gives a mother the courage to raise a child alone. Faith is what turns ordinary people into extraordinary legends. As Hill writes, faith is the external elixir which gives life, power, and action to the impulse of thought. Rewind. Let's review chapter 3. Faith is belief backed by emotion. It must be fed daily using autosuggestion. The subconscious mind obeys faith. Faith and fear cannot exist together. Faith cannot, and connects you to infinite power and success. You can build faith like a muscle through discipline and repetition. Chapter 4: Auto-suggestion, the medium for influencing the subconscious mind. What if you could speak directly to deepest part of your mind? What if you could plant a seed so deep that it grows into unshakable belief, unstoppable confidence, and uniqueable success? That's what this chapter is all about. Auto-suggestion. the bridge between your conscious goals and your subconscious mind. Napoleon Hill calls it the medium by which one may pass by thought into the subconscious mind. This is the science of mental reprogramming. It is the art of repeating ideas to yourself until they have become real in your heart, mind, and actions. The subconscious is always listening. Your subconscious mind is like a garden. It does not judge, it does not argue. It simply accepts and grows whatever you plant, whether it's roses or weeds. If you constantly say, I am not good enough, I always fail, I can't afford this, then guess this. Your subconscious hears it, believes it, and acts on it. But if you say, I'm getting better day by day, morning money flows to me in abundance, I deserve success, then your subconscious begins to reshape your reality accordingly. Auto-suggestion is not wishful thinking, it is mental training. Repetition is the key. Hill emphasizes one critical principle. Repetition plus emotion is equal to subconscious programming. You must repeat your desire daily with feeling until your subconscious mind accepts it as true. Here's how. First, write your desire statement based on the 6 steps in chapter 2. Second, read it aloud twice a day, once in the morning, once before bed. Third, visualize yourself already in possession of your goal. Fourth, feel the emotion of success as you speak the words. The more emotion you attach, the faster the idea embeds. This is the language of the subconscious mind. Example, using auto-suggestion effectively. Let's say your goal is to build a 1 crore online coaching business by December 2025. Your daily auto-suggestion might sound like, I am so happy and grateful now that I earn rupees 1 crore through my online English coaching brand. I have impacted the lives of over 10,000 students. I'm confident, capable, and deserving of the success. It is happening now. Now say this with belief, with enthusiasm, with a smile. While visualizing your success, say it so much that it feels awkward not to say it. Your mind believes what you say repeatedly. The more you say something, the more you believe it. The more you believe it, the more you act on it. And the more you act on it, the more results you get. This is how ordinary people become extraordinary achievers. They repeat empowering thoughts so much that failure becomes unthinkable. Be aware you're always using auto-suggestion. Even if you've never heard of auto-suggestion, you are already using it every day. If you are constantly saying, I can't find a good job, my life is always hard, I'll never speak fluent English, you are negatively programming your subconscious. It listens, it obeys, and it keeps you stuck. Hills warns, if you fill your mind with fear, doubt, and disbelief in your ability to achieve what you want, The law of autosuggestion will take this spirit of unbelief and use it as a pattern by which your subconscious mind will translate it into its physical equivalent. That's a serious warning. This isn't just about being positive, this is about life and death for your dreams. The mental blueprint principle. Every time you repeat your desire, you are building a mental blueprint. Eventually, your subconscious beings to follow that blueprint by attracting opportunity, generating ideas, indulging you towards action, giving you creative power. It's like telling your inner GPS where to go. Why most people fail at auto-suggestion? Hill admits something important here. Most people don't use auto-suggestion correctly. Why? They don't write their goals down. They don't repeat them daily. They don't say them with emotion. They don't believe in the process. Remember, this isn't magic. It's mental discipline. You must do it every day, especially when it feels silly. That's when the transformation is happening. Autosuggestion is self-coaching. Think of autosuggestion as your personal mental coaching system. Imagine starting each day saying, I'm focused, I attract wealth, I'm becoming stronger, wiser, and more confident. Would that affect how you show up? Absolutely. It rewires your brain to look for success, to notice opportunities, and to bounce back from setbacks. Build on auto-suggestion routine. Here's a daily routine inspired by Napoleon Hill. Morning 10 minutes. First, read your definite chief aim aloud. Second, close your eyes and visualize your success. Third, feel the joy and emotion of already having it. Night 10 minutes. First, repeat the process again. Second, reflect on small wins from the day. Third, sleep with the image of success in your mind. So bonus tips here. Record your affirmations and listen to them on loop. Write them in a journal every morning. Place sticky notes where you can see them, whether mirror, desk, phone, wallpaper, etc. Visualization enhances auto-suggestion. Hill encourages using mental pictures to intensify belief. If your goal is financial freedom, picture yourself opening your bank app and seeing rupees 1 crore. Image taking your dream vacation. Hear the applause at your first seminar. Feel the pride as your students thank you. The more senses involved, the stronger the signal you send to your subconscious. Don't be discouraged by delay. Hill reminds us the subconscious mind works day and night. It draws upon forces you may not understand. That means even when you don't see instant results, the seed is growing. Stay consistent, stay focused, don't dig up the seed. Faith plus desire plus auto-suggestion is equal to inevitable results. Why autosuggestion matters? Let's review the key takeaways. First, autosuggestion is the bridge between desire and belief. Repetition with emotion rewires your subconscious mind. Your mind accepts whatever you feed it, good or bad. Visualization amplifies impact. You must build a daily routine of affirmations. Success begins in silence inside your mind. Hill writes, there is no limitations to the mind except those we acknowledge. Autosuggestion helps you remove those limits and write a new story. Chapter 5. Specialized knowledge, personal experiences or observations. Most people think that knowledge is power, but that's only half the truth. In this chapter, Napoleon Hill shatters the myth that general knowledge leads to success. He says plainly, knowledge is only potential power. It becomes power only when it is organized into definite planes of action and directed to a definite end. This is where most people fail. They collect information. They read, watch, listen, and memorize, but they don't apply it. Hill teaches us that true success comes not from being a walking encyclopedia, but from gathering and applying specialized knowledge. Let's unpack this powerful idea: the myth of formal education. Napoleon Hill begins by challenging the traditional idea of education. He says the world is full of people with degrees, but without direction. Think about it. Do all college toppers become rich? Are the most successful entrepreneurs PhDs? Did billionaires like Steve Jobs or Richard Branson get rich by memorizing textbook definitions? No, because success doesn't come from how much you know, but from what you do with what you know. General vs specialized knowledge. There are two types of knowledge. First, general knowledge: scattered, unspecific, easily available. Example: history facts, math formulas, social studies, trivias, etc. Second, specialized knowledge: focused, applied, problem-solving knowledge related to your definition chief aim. Example: digital marketing to grow your business, English fluency coaching strategies, real estate investing, YouTube monetization skills, etc. Hill says the faculties of great universities possesses in the aggregate practically every form of knowledge known to civilization. Most of the professors have but little money. Why? Because having knowledge is not enough. You must use it. Build a knowledge application system. You don't have to know everything. You just need to know what's relevant to your goal and how to use it. Let's say your goal is to build a 1 crore online coaching brand. You need specialized knowledge of public speaking, specialized knowledge of YouTube growth, specialized knowledge of sales and funnels, specialized knowledge of course design. And if you don't know those things personally, no problem, you can hire or partner with those who do. This leads to Hill's golden advice. Successful men in all callings never stop acquiring specialized knowledge related to their major purpose, business or profession. In other words, lifelong learning is not optional, it's essential. You don't need to be a genius. Here's the beautiful truth Hill teaches. It's not necessary to have a great amount of education or intelligence to become rich. That's right. You don't need a fancy degree, but you need a burning desire, a clear goal, a plan to acquire and use specialized knowledge. Even Henry Ford, one of the wealthiest men of his time, didn't have formal education, but he surrounded himself with a mastermind group of people who had the knowledge he needed. He was a general. They were his specialized soldiers. Where to get specialized knowledge? You may wonder, where do I get this specialized knowledge? Hill lists several sources: personal experience and observation, your own life, job, mistakes, apprenticeship, learning from mentors or successful professionals, courses or classes, in person or online, Skillshare, Udemy, etc. Books, podcasts, audiobooks, knowledge from experts in your field, mastermind groups, joining forces with others chasing similar goals, coaches and mentors, fast tracking your success with guided help. Remember, specialized knowledge is everywhere, but you must actively seek it, and then, even more important, you must apply it. Convert knowledge into power. Let's say you are learning about public speaking. Don't just take notes, create short videos, start teaching others what you learn. Practice in front of a mirror. Go live on Instagram, teach it on YouTube. Knowledge without action is dead. As Hill puts it, successful men never stop acquiring knowledge related to their purpose. They take practical steps to organize and apply what they know. The role of imagination. Once you gather specialized knowledge, what next? You use your imagination to arrange it into podcasts, products, business, or systems. This is where innovation comes from. For example, you learn about grammar, you learn about storytelling, you learn about YouTube thumbnails. Now you combine all of them to build an English course that teaches fluency through stories. That's power. You didn't invent grammar, you didn't invent YouTube, but you combine the knowledge in a new way. And that's the real key to wealth. Keep updating your knowledge. The world is changing fast. If you want to stay relevant, you must read daily, learn weekly, apply monthly. Hill emphasizes the person who stops studying merely because he has finished school is forever hopelessly doomed to mediocrity. In today's world, the learners are the leaders. Don't wait to learn everything first. Many people get stuck in a loop. I'll start once I learn more. Let me take one more course. I'm not ready yet. That's fear. That's procrastination. You don't need to know everything. You need to start with what you have, use what you know, and learn what you don't as you go. Hill puts it this way: knowledge will not attract money unless it is organized and directed through practical plans of action. Action plan means apply specialized knowledge. Here's a simple 5-step action plan you can start today. First, define your definite chief aim, your big goal. List the specific skills and knowledge needed to reach that goal. Identify your current gaps, what you still need to learn. Choose your learning source, books, mentors, courses, etc. Apply one new idea from learning every single day. The person who learns a little and acts a lot will always outperform the person who learns everything but does nothing. As Hill says, the accumulation of great fortunes calls for power, and power is acquired through highly organized and intelligently directed specialized knowledge. Imagination, Chapter 6: The Workshop of the Mind. Imagine a room with invisible tools. Inside that room, you can design your dream life, build your empire, or even rewrite your destiny. That room is your imagination. Napoleon Hill calls it the workshop wherein are fashioned all plans created by men. Every business, every invention, every life transformation begin as a thought image in someone's mind. This chapter is your invitation to return to that sacred inner space where the imagination meets purpose and wealth is born. Two types of imagination. Hill breaks down imagination into two distinct forms. First, synthetic imagination, and second, creative imagination. Synthetic imagination reorganizes existing ideas, concepts, and knowledge. Doesn't create anything new. It combines what already exists in a new way. Example: a person doesn't invent grammar, YouTube, or storytelling, but uses all three to create an English-speaking course for Indian learners. That's synthetic imagination. Second, creative imagination comes from intuition, inspiration, or sudden insight. The source of original ideas, inventions, and breakthroughs feels like a download or divine whisper. Example: a writer dreams up a new story idea out of nowhere. An entrepreneur suddenly sees a business model that solves a big problem. Creative imagination functions only when the conscious mind is stimulated through the emotion of a strong desire, says Hills. Translation: the stronger your desire, the more alive your creative genius becomes. Why imagination is crucial for success? Everything man-made began as an idea. Your house, your mobile phone, the camera, the podcast app you are listening through right now. Every fortune, every empire began in the invisible. Man can create anything which he can imagine. That's not a metaphor, that's a law of reality. Success starts in your mental blueprint before it manifests in your bank account. You must first see it, believe it, feel it before you can hold it. How to use synthetic imagination to get rich. Let's say you are starting a coaching business. You might read other courses, observe top YouTubers, learn marketing techniques, study storytelling. Now you combine these elements to create something unique. An English fluency program for Hindi speakers using Bollywood scenes and real life stories. You didn't invent English, you didn't invent storytelling, but you reorganized the parts in a way only you could. This is synthetic imagination at its best. How to awaken your creative imagination. Creative imagination is subtle. It shows up when you are calm and open, like in a shower or walk. You're obsessed with your goal. You've been working intensely and suddenly pause. Hill says this faculty functions only when the conscious mind is vibrating at an exceedingly rapid rate, stimulated by emotion. In simple words, you must have a burning desire. You must stay focused on your goal. You must trust your gut and inner voice. That's when ideas flow through you. Steve Jobs called it connecting dots. Albert Einstein said, "Imagination is more important than knowledge." Napoleon Hill agrees, and now so must you. Turn thoughts into reality. A 5-step creative process. Let's walk through the exact steps to transform an idea into wealth using imagination. Step 1. Desire. You must walk something deeply. Not a wish, but a burning obsession. Step 2. Visualization. See it clearly in your mind. Use vivid mental pictures. Step 3. Plan using synthetic imagination. Rearrange what you know into a blueprint. Combine skills, tools, and knowledge. Step 4. Trust creative flashes. Be open to divine downloads. Journal them. Act on them. Step 5. Act. Don't wait for perfection. Begin now. Refine as you go. This is the blueprint of every millionaire in history. They dreamed, they planned, they imagined, they acted. Real-world examples of imagination at work. Thomas Edison imagined the electric bulb thousands of times before creating it. Walt Disney imagined Disneyland when standing in an empty field. Elon Musk imagined reusable rockets when everyone mocked him. And why? And you? What are you imagining right now? If you don't use your imagination, someone else will hire you to build theirs. The imagination trap to avoid. The average person uses imagination for worry. They imagine what could go wrong, how they'll fail, why they're not good enough. This is called negative imagination. You must flip the script. Imagine the best case scenario. The money flowing, the audience cheering, the success unfolding. The mind will believe whatever story you feed it. Feed it something rich. Practical daily exercise to train your imagination. Morning visualization 5 minutes. Close your eyes. Visualize your definite chief aim as already achieved. Dream journal. Keep a notebook to record flashes of insight or new ideas. Inspiration time. Spend 15 minutes daily in silence or with uplifting music to trigger creative flow. Idea blank. Write down 10 new ideas every day related to your goal, no matter how small. Act on one small idea. Man's only limitation lies in his development and use of his imagination. Don't underestimate it. Don't waste it. Don't fear it. This is your God-given power to build worlds. Use it. Chapter 7. Organized planning. The crystallization of desire into action. You have a goal. You have a burning desire. But now comes the real test. What will you do about it? So welcome to chapter 7, where dreams meet discipline, where your faith and imagination transform into a concrete, actionable plan. Napoleon Hill makes it crystal clear. Success requires no apologies. Failure permits no alibis. This chapter is your step-by-step playbook to go from idea to execution. Why planning is the bridge. between desire and success. You can desire all you want. You can visualize your dream mansion, your YouTube gold play button, your thriving business. But without a plan, your desire is just a wish. A burning desire is the fire. Organized planning is the furnace that channels the fire into power. No follower of this philosophy can reasonably expect to accumulate a fortune without experiencing temporary defeat. Planning helps you respond to those defeats, not with excuses, but with a stronger, smarter comeback. The 4 steps to organized planning. Hill outlines 4 major steps every wealth builder must take. Step number 1. Ally yourself with a mastermind group. No individual has sufficient experience, education, native ability, and knowledge to ensure success without the cooperation of other people. Create or join a team of people with complementary skills, mutual trust, shared vision. Your mastermind could include a mentor, a business partner, a creative consultant, and accountability buddy. Example, you are building an online English coaching brand. Your mastermind may include a video editor, a content strategist, a language expert, a marketing coach. Meet regularly, exchange ideas, support each other, correct mistakes, build momentum. Step number 2. Decide what you can offer in return. You can't ask others to help you without offering value. So ask yourself, what skills, time, ideas, or resources you can offer to your team? Can you promote their work? Can you bring energy, leadership, or consistency? You must give before you get. Business partnerships and success follow the law of compensation. Step number 3. Meet often, consistently, and confidently. Success loves discipline. Regular meetings, even if brief, can spark new ideas, solve roadblocks, keep energy alive. Schedule a fixed time every week with your mastermind. Keep notes, review wins and loses. Stay focused on the major goals. Step number 4. Mountain perfect harmony. Ego kills collaboration. Blame, sarcasm, or bitterness will destroy your team. Harmony among all members of all the group is the key. Be generous with praise, quick to forgive, slow to argue. You're building an empire. Focus on the mission, not the petty drama. The major attributes of leadership according to Hill. Whether you are leading your own goals or business, here are the 11 attributes of leadership Hill says every success seeker must develop. First, unwavering courage. People follow those who believe in themselves. Second, self-control. If you can't lead yourself, you can't lead others. 3. A keen sense of justice. Treat people fairly. Build trust. Number 4. Definiteness of decision. Be firm. Indecision breeds fear. 5. Indefiniteness of plans. Have a map before you start the journey. 6. The habit of doing more than paid for. This is the foundation of future promotions, opportunities, and wealth. 7. A pleasing personality. Be likable. No fake. Be warm, not weak. 8. Sympathy and understanding. Know your people. Listen deeply. 9. Mastery of detail. Pay attention. Fortune is in the follow-up. 10. Willingness to assume full responsibility. Blame no one. Own everything. 11. Cooperation. Success is a team support. Pause and reflect. Which 3 attributes are your strengths? Which 2 do you need to work on this month? The 10 major causes of failure in leadership. To avoid becoming a failure, be aware of inability to organize details, unwillingness to do humble duties, expectation of pay what you know instead of what you do, fear of competition, lack of imagination, selfishness, intemperance, lack of self-discipline, disloyalty, emphasis on authority rather than cooperation, emphasis on title rather than performance. Key lesson: the world rewards leaders who create results, not those who blame titles. Practical planning. Build your action plan today. Let's go beyond theory. Let's make it practical. Here's how to build your personal success plan using Hill's method. Step-by-step personal plan format. Define your goal. Example: earn 5 lakh a month from my English coaching business within 12 months. Second, list what you are willing to give. Example: I will work 5 hours daily, create 1 video every day, and learn marketing. Third, set a deadline. Example: by July 2026. Fourth, create a daily plan. Write down 5 daily tasks that lead directly to your goal. Fifth, list potential team members. Find partners, freelancers, or mentors to support your vision. Sixth, identify your weakness. Be honest. Do you like or do you lack clarity, discipline, tech skills? 7. Study, learn, and improve constantly. Read 1 book per month. Learn from others' failures. What if your plan fails? Hill is blunt fear. Your first plan may fail. So will your second? But failure is not fatal unless you quit. Temporary defeat should mean only one thing: the certain knowledge that there is something wrong with your plan. So revise the plan, try a new angle, consult your mastermind, improve your strategy. The goal remains the same, only the path evolves. Bonus: the danger of procrastination. Many people wait for the perfect plan. But perfection is the enemy of progress. Start now, improve as you go. As you act, new doors open. Remember, you don't have to be great to start, but you have to start to be great. Successful people make decisions quickly and change them slowly. Failures make decisions slowly and change them quickly. So choose who you'll be. Chapter 8: Decision: The Mastery of Procrastination. Successful people make decisions quickly and firmly. Unsuccessful people make decisions slowly and change them often, if at all. With those words, Napoleon Hill strikes at the heart of what separates the rich from the poor. The achievers from the procrastinators, the doers from the daydreamers. Welcome to Chapter 8, a lesson in clarity, courage, and action. If you want to be wealthy in money, influence, or fulfillment, you must become decisive. Why decision is the turning point of all achievement. Imagine this. If you've written down your burning desire, you've developed faith, you built a plan, but then something unexpected happens. You doubt, you delay, you second guess, and slowly you begin to procrastinate. Procrastination is the opposite of decision. It is a common enemy practically every man must conquer. Napoleon Hill observed over 25,000 men and women. He noticed something shocking. Lack of decision was near the top of every list of failures. The Carnegie secret: decide, then do. Andrew Carnegie, the steel magnate and one of the richest men of all time, told Napoleon Hill, any idea that is held in the mind, emphasized and backed by strong emotion, must eventually seek expression through action. That action comes through decision. Carnegie made decisions fast, so did Henry Ford. Ford once lost millions by continuing to produce a failing model, but he stuck with his decision long enough to learn from it and turn it into a massive success. It's not about always being right, it's about being resolute, clear, and action-oriented. 6 steps to become decisive even if you struggle with it. Here's how to transform yourself with a procrastinator into a person of powerful decisions. Know what you want. Uncertainty kills decision making. If your goals are vague, your decisions will be shaky. Clarity is equal to confidence. Kill the fear of criticism. Most indecision stems from fear of what others might say. And here's a truth bomb from Hill. Opinions are the cheapest commodities on earth. Stop living for other people's approval. Stop waiting for their validation. Start living your truth. Ask yourself, would I still do this if no one else approved? Would I still choose this if I knew success was guaranteed? Gather facts, but don't drown in them. Too much information can lead to analysis paralysis. Yes, get the data, but then act. Those who wait until all the lights are green will never leave the driveway. Train yourself with small decisions. Want to become more decisive? Practice. Choose your daily routine and stick to it. Plan your meals and commit. Set a content schedule and follow through. Decisiveness is a muscle. Start small, grow fast. Burn the boats. When Spanish conqueror Hernan Cortes landed in the New World, he ordered his men to burn their ships. Why? So there was no turning back. Same for you. Stop leaving the back door open. Make your decision, stick with it, refuse to retreat. Surround yourself with decision people. Your circle shapes your standards. If you spend time with indecisive, negative, or fearful people, guess what? You'll adopt their hesitation. Choose partners, coaches, or friends who push you toward action. Examples are of powerful decision makers. Hill highlights famous figures who changed the world with a single firm decision. Abraham Lincoln decided to fight for the Union. It nearly broke him, but he persisted. Thomas Edison decided he would create the electric light after 10,000 failures. Helen Keller decided her blindness and deafness wouldn't stop her from becoming a world changer. Mahatma Gandhi decided that India would be free through peaceful resistance. Their greatness wasn't born from brilliance, it came from a decision they never backed away from. So, what's stopping you? The enemies of decision. Let's expose the 6 enemies of decisiveness that hold people back. First, fear of criticism. Second, fear of failure. Third, fear of success. Yes, it's real. Or overthinking. 5, desire to please everyone. 6th, waiting for perfect timing. Remember, you don't have to get it perfect, you just have to get it going. Practice becomes a decisive leader in 3 minutes a day. Each morning to this. Do this. First, write one decision you've been putting off. Write the consequences of not deciding. Write the first action you'll take today. Do it. That's it. 3 minutes, massive results. Bonus. Train your subconscious mind with decisiveness. Your subconscious mind obeys whatever you repeat. So if you always say, I don't know, I'll think about it, let me wait, your subconscious will accept doubt as your operating system. But if you say, I've decided, let's start now, I'm all in, your subconscious will begin helping you with clarity, motivation, and opportunities. What is persistence? Persistence means doing what you said you would do, long after the mood you said it in has left you. It's not talent, it's not luck, it's not even strategy, it's the unshakable refusal to quit. Hill makes it clear. Without persistence, you will be defeated. With persistence, you will win. Why most people fail? Lack of persistence. Napoleon Hill studied 500 plus of the wealthiest people in America. And guess what? They all had in common. They persisted through financial disasters, personal tragedies, business betrayals, inner self-doubt. The average person, however, gives up at the first obstacle. They don't fail because they aren't smart. They fail because they stop trying. The process of transformation. Persistence is how your thoughts turn into wealth. It bridges the invisible desire and the visible success. Let's recap the chain. Desire fuels action. Faith sustains belief. Decision turns ideas into motion. Persistence finishes the job. It's the emotional, mental, and spiritual backbone of wealth. Famous stories of persistence. Thomas Edison. He tried 10,000 times before inventing the light bulb. People called him crazy. He called it learning 10,000 ways not to do it. Henry Ford. He faced lawsuits, ridicule, and even sabotage, but his vision for the automobile never died. Abraham Lincoln, he failed in business, lost elections, and battled depression. He became one of the greatest presidents of all time. Colonel Sanders, rejected by over 1,000 restaurants before someone accepted his chicken recipe. Today, KFC is global. Success is not final. Failure is not fatal. It is the courage to continue that counts. Winston Churchill. 4 simple steps to build unstoppable persistence. Napoleon Hill gives us a system, one that anyone can follow. First, definite purpose backed by burning desire. If you don't know what you want, you'll quit when it gets hard. You must be emotionally married to your goal, obsessed, committed, immovable. Ask yourself daily, why do I want this? What am I willing to sacrifice? Second, definite plan, expressed in continuous action. Don't wait for a perfect plan. A weak plan with strong persistence beats a great plan with no action. Action fuels momentum. Momentum builds belief. Belief eliminates doubt. Third, mind closed tightly against negative influence. You must silence pessimistic friends, negative news, self-doubt, critics and haters. Build a mental fortress. If they are not helping your persistence, they are weakening it. Fourth, alliance with one or more people who encourage you. This is your mastermind group, a powerful network of believers. Surround yourself with people who support your dream, not mock it. One conversation with a believer can fuel your persistence for weeks. Training your mind to persist. The inner game, your biggest battle is inside your own head. Here are tools to strengthen your persistence muscle. Affirmations. Repeat daily. I will never give up. I will succeed because I refuse to quit. My desire is strong than my obstacles. Visualization. Close your eyes. Feel what it's like to achieve your goal. Smell it, touch it, taste it. Persistence loves vivid dreams. Journalizing. Track wins, struggle, lessons learned. Even small progress fuels the fire. The enemies of persistence. Hill reveals the 16 enemies that destroy your will to persist. Let's highlight a few of the most dangerous. Lack of a well-defined purpose, lack of ambition, weak desire, procrastination, lack of self-discipline, fear of failure, criticism, poverty, lack of capital or backing. But remember, excuses don't build empires. Persistence does. Real talk, persistence in modern life. In today's world, persistence is rare. We want instant gratification, overnight results, 2-day shipping on our dreams. But success, it's like bamboo. You water it daily for years, and then suddenly it grows 90 feet in 6 weeks. Most people quit when success is right around the corner. Napoleon Hill. Don't let that be you. From quitting to persisting. The 24-hour rule. Feeling discouraged. Use this rule. You can feel like quitting, but you must wait 24 hours. In that time, rest, reflect, remember your why. Then you get back up and keep going. No two minds ever come together without thereby creating a third invisible, intangible force, a third mind, Napoleon Hill. Welcome to Chapter 10 of Think and Grow Rich. You've learned about desire, faith, decision, and persistence. Now it's time for a game-changing truth. You are powerful alone, but you are unstoppable with a mastermind. This chapter unlocks the secret force used by Carnegie, Ford, Rockefeller, Edison, and every great mind to amplify their influence, insights, and income. Let's dive into the most underused and overlooked secret to wealth, the Mastermind Alliance. What is the mastermind? It's not about one genius. It's about collaborative genius. According to Hill, the mastermind is the coordination of knowledge and effort between two or more people who work toward a definite purpose in a spirit of harmony. This union of minds creates something mystical and electric, a third intangible mind. Imagine two wires alone, they carry energy. Twist them together and you double the current. Now imagine 5, 10, 20 wires, all fitting one goal. That's a mastermind group. Mental power multiplies with connection. In the brain of a single person, there is great potential, but one person has limited experience, limited perspective, and limited energy. However, when two or more people come together in harmony, the energy compounds. The result? Better ideas, stronger motivation, faster execution, sharper problem solving, deeper emotional support. Why you must build a mastermind group? No empire was built in isolation. Andrew Carnegie admitted, I owe all my fortune to the power I found in my mastermind group. Napoleon Hill calls this economic advantage and psychic advantage. Let's explore both. First, economic advantage. The collective mind opens door to opportunity, shares networks, pools resources, multiplies talents. Imagine what mastermind partner knows funding, but not branding. Together, you are unstoppable. It's like building with Lego pieces. Alone, your creation is small. Together, you build castles. Second, psychic advantage. There is also a spiritual force. Hill calls it a mind chemistry. Thoughts are energy. When minds connect harmoniously, creativity explodes. Breakthroughs arrives. Intuition sharpens. You attract more success. You feel more alive, more capable, more inspired. This is the power behind great bands, inventors, startups, political movements, even revolutions. Real life examples of mastermind alliance. Henry Ford and Thomas Edison. They met frequently with Harvey Firestone and other leaders. Their decisions inspired ideas that changed the world. Steve Jobs and Steve Wozniak. One was the dreamer, the other the engineer. Together they launched Apple. Warren Buffett and Charlie Munger. Their partnership is a mastermind rooted in logic, ethics, and growth. How to create your own mastermind group. You don't need billionaires to join you. You just need people with shared purpose, integrity, belief, contribution. Step 1. Identify your chief aim. Know your mission. Clarity attracts collaborators. Step 2. Seek people with complementary skills. Don't only invite people like you. Diversity creates depth. Find strategists, visionaries, planners, doers. Step number 3. Meet regularly with intention. Once a week, twice a month, set the schedule, keep it sacred, keep it powerful. Agenda could include sharing progress, solving problems, brainstorming strategies, holding each other accountable. Characteristics of a true mastermind group. Trust. No hidden agendas. Loyalty. No backstabbing. Contribution everyone gives. Clarity. A shared vision. Energy. Meetings leave you fired up. Avoid negative thinkers like gossips, time wasters, people who drain energy. This is sacred space. Treat it with honor. The invisible power of the mind. Hill says, when you form a harmonious mastermind, you tap into the sixth sense, the doorway to infinite intelligence. This is where encyclopedias happen. You think of someone and they call. You get stuck and someone in the group has the answer. You dream something and it becomes real. This is no accident, it's alignment. The mind is like a battery. Alone, your brain radiates power. But when connected with others in focused intention, you form a super brain. Think of Tesla's wireless energy towers, bees building a hive, wolves hunting in packs, musicians improvising in harmony. Nature shows this truth. Success requires synergy. Rule number 6. Rules for a powerful mastermind experience. Protect the energy. Negative energy will poison the group. Cut it off quickly. Keep it purpose driven. No idle chit chat. Every meeting fuels the mission. Commit long term. Big results require deep bonds. Document agreements. Clear rules means clear respect. Rotate leadership roles. Let all members grow. Celebrate wins. Success is sweeter when shared. Even one ally is enough. Hill reminds us a mastermind can be true people. You and one trusted person, aligned, focused, fearless, can ignite powerful change. Don't wait to find a big group. Start with one soul who believes. Bonus: the cosmic mastermind, infinite intelligence. As your group aligns with purpose, you will feel something greater guiding you. Hill calls it infinite intelligence, a spiritual source of ideas, answers, timing, inner knowing. This is the divine collaboration. When you align with others, the universe aligns with you. Chapter 11. The Mystery of Sex Transmutation, Turning Energy into Genius. The meaning of the word transmute is, in simple language, the changing or transferring of one element or form of energy into another. Napoleon Hill. You heard of the phrase mind over matter, but in this chapter, Napoleon Hill introduces you to energy over everything, the most intense energy in the human body, that is sexual energy. Now, before you misunderstand, this chapter is not about physical acts or romance. It's about transforming the most primal human force into creative power, business genius, and personal magnetism. This chapter, the mystery of sex transmutation. What is sex transmutation? Sex transmutation is the process of taking sexual energy, one of the strongest emotions known to mankind, and redirecting it into art, genius, leadership, influence, wealth creation. It's about taking biological desire and transmuting it into creative fuel. Desire, drive, destiny. Why sexual energy is so powerful? Sexual desire is primal. It's rooted in biology. It drives species to continue, but unlike animals, humans can channel this energy into higher purposes. It's not just physical, it's psychic, emotional, and creative. Think about this. Artists paint masterpieces because of desire. Entrepreneurs build companies with passion. Leaders captivate crowds with energy and charisma. Inventors obsess over breakthroughs for years. At the root of it all, a burning internal energy, which Napoleon Hill says is sexual energy in a higher form. The misuse was mastery of sexual energy. Hill says many of the world's greatest failures occurred because men squandered this energy on pleasure rather than purpose. But many of the greatest geniuses, leaders, and innovators mastered sex transmutation. They turned temptation into transformation. For example, Napoleon Bonaparte had great sexual passion, but when unchecked, it led to destruction. Thomas Edison, on the other hand, used that same drive toward invention, working 20 hours a day. Da Vinci, Tesla, and Einstein were also believed to have practiced sex transmutation. They channeled that fire within to brilliance. Characteristics of people with high sexual energy. Napoleon Hill identifies men and women with high sexual energy as having great charm and magnetism, strong voice and persistence and presence, intense creativity, charisma and influence, confidence and vitality. But without control, that energy leads to addiction, regret, mental fog, emotional instability, control, power, discipline, freedom. Sex transmutation is the gateway to genius. Hill says, when driven by this emotion, men become gifted with a superpower for action. Think of sexual energy as creative electricity. You can waste it like a short circuit or channel it into creative voltage. This is how geniuses, artists, and powerful communicators operate. They've taken the energy of desire and fueled their minds. How to practice sex transmutation. This isn't abstract. Hill outlines how to do this. First, recognize sexual energy. Feel the passion, the drive, the attraction. Don't suppress it. Observe it. Acknowledge its intensity. This is raw power. Second, redirect the urge. Instead of chasing momentary pleasure, channel that urge into working out, writing, speaking, building your business, creating music, code, content, or value. Use it to fuel ambition. Third, fuel your imagination. Sex energy and imagination is linked. When you are emotionally aroused, creativity surges. Use that state to visualize your goals, your success, your ideal life. Emotion amplifies visualization. Visualization creates manifestation. Love plus sex is equal to magic. Hill also says the combination of sex and love creates the most powerful state. Without love, sex is fleeting. But when love, romance, and sexual energy are combined, the mind is heightened. Emotions are stable. Focus sharpens. Energy flows cleanly. This energy becomes an unstoppable source of inspiration, resilience, intuition, magnetism. Many powerful leaders have had strong romantic partners who grounded and inspired them. Channeling the energy into genius. Napoleon Hill says that people become great after the age of 40 not because they are smarter, but because their sexual energy stabilizes and can be more easily directed. They are less distracted, more disciplined, and wiser in how they channel desire. The major force of human behavior becomes transmulated into genius only through maturity, experience, and control. The hidden side of influence and charisma. Hill says that great speakers, artists, leaders, and entertainers often project an energy that draws others in. That magnetic force, often rooted in sexual energy, transmuted. This explains why some people command rooms, why audiences are moved by certain speakers, why confidence radiates from some individuals. It's the refined fire of sex energy, channeled and focused. The warning: don't waste it. Sex energy is powerful. If misused, it leads to emotional chaos, weakness, ambition, creates guilt, destruction, and regret. Hell is clear. Discipline is essential. You don't suppress sexual energy. You rise above it and use it as fuel. You don't fight the fire. You build your engine to run on it. Replacing lust with purpose. Every time you feel tempted to fall into indulgence, pause, redirect that energy. Turn to your goals, work on your dream, focus on mission. This is mastery. This is what separates mediocrity from greatness. Final thoughts on chapter 11. This chapter is a call to transcend destruction and master your deepest energy. When sexual desire is transmuted, your confidence rises, your creativity soars, your presence deepens, your destiny accelerates. The most powerful force within you is not to be repressed, it is to be transformed. Chapter 12. The Subconscious Mind, the Connecting Link. The subconscious mind will not remain idle. If you fail to plant desires in your subconscious mind, it will feed upon the thoughts that reach it as the result of your neglect. Napoleon Hill. Imagine a garden. Now imagine planting no seeds, doing no work, and expecting roses. That's what happens when you have your subconscious mind to randomness. But what if you could deliberately plant success, wealth, and peace into it, and watch those grows? That's what this chapter is all about. What is the subconscious mind? The subconscious mind is like the hard drive of your brain. It stores all your memories, controls your habits, reacts to emotions, accepts whether you feed it good or bad. It never sleeps, it never argues. It just accepts and acts. Everything you've ever experienced, every belief you've adopted, every fear you've internalized, it all lives here. And here's the shocker. Your subconscious mind controls 95% of your life. The link between the conscious and infinite intelligence. In Hill's framework, the subconscious mind is the bridge, the connecting link between your conscious thoughts and the universal intelligence, infinite source of power, guidance, and ideas. It's like Wi-Fi to the universe. When you focus intensely on a thought with emotion, you plant that into the subconscious, and it then broadcasts your vibration to attract like results. The subconscious never stops. Think of it like a 24/7 radio station inside your mind. It broadcasts when you feed it. It attracts people, ideas, and circumstances that match those thoughts. It creates habits and responses based on repetition. Here's the key. You don't get what you want, you get what your subconscious believes. How to influence the subconscious mind? Napoleon Hill gives specific methods to program your subconscious for success. Auto-suggestion, repetition, daily affirmations like I am wealthy, I am confident, money flows to me easily, I deserve success, I am powerful and focused. When repeated with emotion, they become accepted by the subconscious. It's not magic, it's mental reprogramming. Second, emotion is the key. Words are empty without feeling. Hill says you will get no appreciable results until you learn to reach your subconscious mind with emotion and faith. Emotion turbocharges belief. Want to program your subconscious mind? Don't just say it, feel it. Third, visualization. See yourself speaking confidently, closing deals, living in abundance, driving your dream car, helping others, smiling with peace. Vivid mental pictures leave strong impressions on the subconscious and emotion, and they become inevitable reality. Fourth, focus before sleep. The last 5 minutes before you sleep are good. The last 5 minutes before you sleep are gold. Your brain transitions into theta state. When the subconscious is most open, read your affirmations, visualize your goals, feel success are already done. This practice influences dreams, thoughts, and energy overnight. The danger of negative thoughts. Your subconscious doesn't judge. Feed it fear, doubt, shame, and it will build a life of those things. Most people don't fail because of bad luck, they fail because of unconscious programming, negative self talk, constant focus on lack. Hill says the subconscious mind takes any orders given to it in a spirit of absolute faith and acts upon those orders, although they often have to be presented over and over again. So if you constantly say, I am not good enough, I'll get rich, this won't work for me, then guess what? The subconscious believes you and makes it true. Faith plus desire is equal to manifestation. When your conscious desire is backed by faith and planted deeply in the subconscious mind, it sets into motion a chain of events. You attract new ideas, you meet new people, you spot new opportunities, you take confident action, you keep going despite setbacks. This is not mysticism. This is mental cause creating physical effort. Repetition builds belief. At first, you might feel, this isn't working. I don't believe it. It feels fake. That's normal. But repetition creates familiarity. Familiarity becomes belief, and belief becomes reality. Fake it until you make it is another way of saying repeat it until your subconscious accepts it. Emotional mastery is equal to subconscious control. Your emotions are the link that writes on your subconscious. That's why emotional control matters. Gratitude, calm, confidence, passion, faith. These feelings empower your mental environment. Fear, on the other hand, poisons it. Programming loop. Here's how the subconscious mind creates a feedback loop. You think a thought, you feel emotion. Your subconscious accepts it. You behave accordingly. The world reflects it back to you. The belief grows stronger. This is the cycle of creation. Final thought. You are the programmer. You are not a victim of your past. You are the programmer of your future. Your subconscious can be your jailer or your liberator. The difference lies in what you feed it every single day. Use affirmations, visualization, faith, positive emotion, repetition. plant the seeds of your future reality. The subconscious is the soil, thought is the seed, emotion is the water, faith is the sunlight, your destiny is the fruit. You've just unlocked the secret operating system behind every success story. You now have the power to rewrite the script, to rewire your destiny, to live the life your subconscious believes is possible. Chapter 13: The Brain, a broadcasting and receiving station for thought. Every human brain is both a broadcasting and receiving station for the vibration of thought. Napoleon Hill. Your mind is not just a thinker, it's a transmitter, it's a receiver, it's a vibration machine. What if your brain is working like a radio tower, emitting invisible frequencies and receiving them as well? That's exactly what Napoleon Hill teaches here. Let's decode this powerful chapter together. Understanding thought as energy. Thought is not just an idea, it is energy. Modern science agrees every thought creates a measurable electrical impulse. That impulse carries a vibrational frequency. The more intense the thought, especially with emotion, the strong the frequency. Hill says thought backed by emotion vibrates at a higher rate and can influence both the subconscious and the environment. The brain as a broadcasting station. Your brain broadcasts thoughts outward into the ether universal intelligence and affects people, events, and opportunities around you. When you dwell on a thought, especially one approved by desire, faith, or love, you are literally sending it into the universe. This isn't mysticism. Think of it like turning into a station on a radio or broadcasting a Wi-Fi signal. If your mind is full of gratitude, you broadcast attraction. Faith, you broadcast strength. Fear, you broadcast resistance. Desire, you broadcast momentum. The brain as a receiving station, just like you send, you also receive. You've had those moments, a gut feeling, a flash of inspiration, a strange confidence, a voice guiding you, someone calling you right when you thought of them. That's not luck, that's mental tuning. Hill believed that when the brain is focused, emotional, faith-driven, it enters a higher vibration and can receive thoughts, ideas, and solutions from the universal mind. This is the birthplace of intuition, the mastermind connection. Remember the earlier chapter on the mastermind group? Hill said, when two or more minds are working in harmony, they create a third invisible force, an intangible energy that makes each individual smarter, faster, and more attractive. That's because each brain is tuned into the same frequency. They start sending and receiving between each other. The energy multiplies. This is why collaborating with like-minded people accelerates success. Your brain is like a satellite dish. When two satellite dishes are pointed in the same direction, they amplify each other's signals. Vibrations attract similar vibrations. Here's the key insight of this chapter. You attract when you vibrate. If you think confident thoughts, you attract confidence building experience. If you dwell on scarcity, you attract limitations. If you radiate enthusiasm, people are drawn to you. If you operate from fear, you attract resistance and delay. This is why daily mental hygiene is critical. Control your inner dialogue. Control your emotional focus. Control your dominant thoughts. Because they are not just silent whispers, they are loud signals being sent out into your relationships, into your finances, into your destiny. Magnetic thought power. Thoughts backed by desire, thoughts backed by belief, love, sex, energy, creativity, faith become so powerful that they attract physical equivalents. This is how inventions are born, how entrepreneurs attract capital, how artists receive inspiration, how visions become reality. Your brain becomes a magnet for ideas, people, opportunities, and resources. Real world scientific evidence. Though Hill wrote this before the digital era, modern science now supports this vision. EEG machines show the brain emits electrical waves. Heart Math Institute proves emotion changes brain frequency. Quantum physics reveals everything is energy, including thoughts. Mirror neurons show how we receive energy from others even without speaking. You're not just living life, you are broadcasting it and shaping it. How to amplify your thoughts' frequency. It suggests ways to raise your mental vibration. First, definite purpose. When your brain is focused on a clear goal, your thoughts become intense and direct. Clarity is equal to power. Second, emotionally charged thinking. The more emotion you add to a thought, the more it vibrates. Emotion is equal to amplifier. Third, daily visualization and auto-suggestion. Train your brain to habitually broadcast success, wealth, joy, and action. Repetition is equal to programming. Fourth, surround yourself with high vibe people. The frequency of people around you affects your own brain waves. Environment is equal to influence. Your brain an infinite intelligence. He closes the chapter by reminding us the brain is the gateway to infinite intelligence. When you quit your control, focus on purpose. Believe with emotion, stay receptive. You begin to receive flashes of insight from a higher source. You may call it the universe, God, source, higher self. Regardless of the label, it's real. and your brain is the receiver. You've now activated one of the most important concepts in modern manifestation. The brain is not just a tool for thinking, it's a powerful machine for attraction. Chapter 14: The Sixth Sense, the Door to the Temple of Wisdom. The sixth sense defies description. It cannot be described to a person who has not mastered the other principles of this philosophy. Napoleon Hill. There's something powerful, something beyond logic, beyond the five senses, a mental spark that shows up just when you need it most. You can't see it, you can't always explain it, but it's real. Napoleon Hill calls it the sixth sense, the final step to mastering your mind and unlocking infinite intelligence. What is the sixth sense? Hill describes it as a blending of the other principles, a creative faculty of the mind, a spiritual door through which infinite intelligence communicates with you, a kind of intuitive flash, a hunch, or a gut feeling that brings ideas or warnings. It is not mystical, it's a refined subconscious channel developed through consistent mental discipline. Think of it like a highly tuned radio. You start catching stations no one else can hear. You get answers before the question appears. You feel the next step before you even ask. The gateway to genius. According to Hill, the sixth sense is that the portion of the subconscious mind which has been referred to as the creative imagination. In other words, it's inspiration without thinking, a higher vibration of knowledge, the whispers of the universe delivered through flashes of awareness. This is the realm of inventors like Edison, visionaries like Tesla, leaders like Lincoln, artists like Beethoven. These geniuses weren't just thinking, they were tapping into the sixth sense. When does the sixth sense activate? The sixth sense does not come to those who live in fear, who ignore intuition, who are too busy chasing chaos. It comes when the mind is calm, the purpose is strong, the heart is aligned, the principles of Think and Grow Rich are already in practice. Hill insists the sixth sense will not function unless you've already developed desire, faith, auto-suggestion, specialized knowledge, imagination, organized planning, decision, persistence, mastermind alliance, the subconscious mind, the brain as a transmitter. Only then the sixth sense reveals itself like the final piece of the puzzle. Infinite intelligence and the sixth sense. Here's the most powerful part. He believed that through the sixth sense, we communicate with infinite intelligence, a higher universal force, God or source. Through the aid of the sixth sense, you will be warned of impending dangers in time to avoid them, and be notified of opportunities in time to embrace them. You might experience sudden knowing, a vision or dream, an idea that bursts into your mind, a message to stop, wait, or go. You may not know where it comes from, but it will feel true. Hill's invisible counselors. Hill used an incredible exercise to develop his sixth sense. He created an imaginary council of advisors, made up of the greatest mind in history. Every night he would mentally call upon Abraham Lincoln, Thomas Edison, Henry Ford, Napoleon Bonaparte, Darwin Carnegie, and others. He would visualize them sitting around a table, giving him advice, speaking to him, mentoring him. Why? Because the subconscious does not know the difference between real and imagined. By doing this, Hill was training his sixth sense to channel wisdom beyond his own knowledge from the collective consciousness of the world's largest thinkers. You can do this too. Want to build your sixth sense? Try this exercise every night. Create your dream council, people living or dead you admire. Visualize them clearly sitting in a meeting with you. Pose your questions, business, life, relationships, anything. Listen in stillness and write down the answers you receive. Repeat consistently, the connection grows stronger. Over time, your sixth sense becomes sharper, faster, and more reliable. The sixth sense in real life. They may already be using the sixth sense without knowing it. Think about that gut feeling to avoid a deal that turned out badly. That moment you called someone and they said, "I was just thinking about you." That time you took a leap and everything lined up. That was not luck. It was the voice of within. Practices that unlock the sixth sense. Hill suggests combining mental mastery with intuition-friendly habits. Meditation. Silence sharpens reception. Meditation trains you to hear the whispers of infinite intelligence. Journaling. Writing daily helps you discuss true intuition from emotional noise. Faith and belief. The more you believe in the unseen, the more it works for you. Gratitude and humility. Hill emphasizes that the sixth sense doesn't work with arrogance or ego. Be thankful and open, and your inner guidance becomes louder. The sixth sense is not fortune telling. This isn't magic or fortune telling. Hill is clear. The sixth sense is a skill that grows with self-discipline, mental clarity, emotional mastery, purpose-driven living. It's the highest level of intelligence, combining your conscious, subconscious, and spiritual power. With this chapter, we've entered the spiritual core of Napoleon Hill's philosophy. It's no longer just about thinking and working. It's about tuning in into the universe, listening and acting on a higher level of wisdom. Final chapter: How to outwit the sixth ghosts of fear. Fear is the most destructive of all human diseases. Napoleon Hill. You've traveled through desire, faith, imagination, persistence, and even the sixth sense. But now you must face the invisible prison. that holds most people back. Fear, it sneaks in silently. It whispers lies. It paralyzes the brave. And worst of all, it disguises itself as reason. Napoleon Hill ends this legendary book with a chilling but essential warning. If you don't learn how to outwit fear, you will never fully think and grow rich. What are the 6 ghosts of fear? Hill identifies 6 basic fears that dominate human lives: fear of poverty, fear of criticism, fear of ill health, fear of loss of love, fear of old age, fear of death. There are not just ideas, they are emotional viruses. They weaken your thoughts, block your imagination, and destroy your ability to act. Let's break them down and defeat them one by one. First, fear of poverty, the root of all failure. It paralyzes the faculty of reason, destroys imagination, kills self reliance, and undermines enthusiasm. This fear makes you avoid risks, accept low paying jobs, stay small, refuse to dream big. It whispers, what if I lose everything? What if people laugh at me? What if I end up with nothing? But here's the truth. You were not born to struggle. You were born to create value and receive value in return. Money is an effect. Thought is the cause. Destroy this fear by practicing abundance thinking, repeating well-focused affirmations, surrounding yourself with prosperity-conscious people, taking calculated financial action daily. Second, fear of criticism, the dream killer. This fear stops entrepreneurs from launching, creators from sharing, leaders from speaking truth. It shows up as self-doubt, people-pleasing, hiding your gifts. Hill says the fear of criticism robs man of his initiative, destroys power of imagination, and limits individuality. You must understand, people will criticize you no matter what you do. Most criticism comes from those doing less than you. Greatness demands being misunderstood. Destroy this fear by building emotional strength, learning to take feedback without absorbing it, surrounding yourself with those who support your mission, practicing bold self-expression every day. Third, fear of ill health, the mind-body trap. This fear creates constant worry, psychocosmetic illness, a weak immune system. Hill says this fear breaks down nature's body resisting mechanism, making one susceptible to actual disease. In other words, fear of illness can cause illness. Your body listens to your thoughts. Destroy this fear by replacing fear-based thoughts with gratitude for health. Practicing good sleep, food and movement habits. Visualizing yourself as vibrant, energized and strong. Detaching from obsessive media about disease or fear of loss of love, the heart's insecurity. This fear causes jealousy, over-attachment, emotional manipulation, dependency. It stems from a lack of self-worth. Hill warns jealousy, the most common form of this fear, is fatal to personal achievement. You can love deeply without fear. True love is not fear-based. It's freedom-based. Destroy this fear by developing self-love and confidence, releasing unhealthy control and relationships, practicing trust, knowing that no one can take away what's truly meant for you. Fifth, fear of old age, the time illusion. This fear makes people feel too late, creates dread instead of wisdom, leads to giving up on dreams after 40, 50, or 60. Hill says this fear is closely associated with the fear of poverty because of the loss of earning power. But here's the truth. Some of the greatest accomplishments in history were achieved after 50. Wisdom, not youth, brings power. The soul does not age. Destroy this fear by embracing lifelong growth, keeping your mind active, refusing to limit yourself based on age, living with purpose, not a countdown. Sixth, fear of death, the ultimate unknown. This fear lies at the root of all other fears. It paralyzes people into inaction because they fear the end. But Hill reframes death. Death is merely a transition, not a punishment. It is as necessary as birth. Every day is a chance to die to fear and rebirth into purpose. Destroy this fear by living fully now, making peace with unknown, studying spiritual philosophies that bring comfort, living a legacy that outlives your physical form. Bonus: how to detect your fear in your life. Hell gives symptoms to look out for because fear often hides in disguise. Watch for indecision, procrastination, lack of ambition, weak self image, blaming others, nervousness, excuses. Where there is excuse, there is fear. Train yourself to recognize fear and talk back. How to conquer these ghosts. Hill recommends daily action. First, self-analyze or analysis. Ask, what am I really afraid of? Why? Where did I learn that? Second, auto-suggestion. Repeat daily affirmations of strength, courage, clarity, and abundance. Third, positive environment. Your circle must uplift, not drain. Fear is contagious. So is confidence. For goal focus. Fear fades when your vision is bigger than your doubt. Fifth, faith practice. Believe in something greater than yourself and that you are guided always. Final words from Napoleon Hill. Man can create nothing which he does not first conceive in the form of an impulse of thought. Man's thought impulses begin immediately to translate themselves into their physical equivalent. Your destiny is not controlled by fate. It is shaped by your thoughts. But if fear infects those thoughts, success is impossible. You've now learned the last and greatest enemy of wealth, fear. But you also know the antidote, awareness, purpose, and daily self-mastery. And now it's time to wrap up this entire journey. A message to the future millionaire listening now. You have just experienced over this. Thoughts become things. Clarity creates power. Action turns dreams into legacy. Don't just think and grow rich, leave it, be it, pass it on. Thank you for listening to this audiobook summary of Napoleon Hill's Think and Grow Rich. If this transformed your thinking, like, comment, and subscribe to the channel. And remember, your mind is the most powerful tool in the world. Use it. This is your guide. Signing off with belief in your greatness. And as you know that this is not AI generated audio, I am a person who is speaking. So this is a little long summary, so it takes a hard time to read. So please respect this audiobook and kindly subscribe and share with your friends and family members. Thank you so much for this patience to listen.